Okay, in here we have our underfloor heating cabinet. So what we have is the heat pump heats the water. It comes in through the main feed through a motorised valve. This motorised valve decides whether it needs to push the water to the hot water cylinder or along through the manifold to the underfloor heating system. Here we have a pressure switch which is designed to shut the system off if the pressure in the system gets too low. Here we have the underfloor heating zones. As we can see, we've got bedroom 2, bedroom 1, bathroom, dining and lounge. These are flow adjusters. As you can see here, the wee red flow indicators are showing that there is 2.5 litres per minute going through the lounge, 2.5 litres per minute going through the dining room, and 1 litre per minute going through the bedroom, and basically 0.5 litre a minute going through bedroom 2. That is so we don't need to heat the bedrooms as up to the same sort of temperature as we want to heat our main living room. So these can be easily adjusted, but as you can see, bedroom 1, if you want a very little heat, we can turn that just by turning the black handle down the bottom. If I turn it this way, we see our red float comes down, therefore we are getting more heating into the bedroom 1, or if we want less heating into bedroom 1, we turn it the other way, the wee red flow indicator comes up. So, and on the front of your plastic tube it shows you litres per minute. Normally bedrooms would only need a little bit of flow, therefore a little bit of heat going into the bedrooms, enough to take the chill off the room and not heat it like you would want to heat a main living area. So the water flows down through the flow pipes, down through the floor, and then it comes back up to the return manifold. These are used for turning the system on and off. So if I turn this off, we'll see there is now no flow in the flow gauge. If I turn it on, then we have got flow going through the through the kitchen dining zone again. These are generally used for turning the system or the zone on or off only, where the top ones are used for adjusting the amount of heat into each zone. From here the water flows down back through the strainer and then back to the heat pump to be reheated again, to be circulated back through the system again. We have an expansion tank down the bottom, which is, as the water heats, water expands, and when it cools it contracts. So it happens inside this expansion tank. Our gauge, we also have a pressure gauge here. We see on the top half we have a pressure gauge, and on the bottom half we have a temperature gauge. Generally our system runs ideally between 1 and 2 bar. Ignore the red needle because that's just a manual needle. The black needle shows our system pressure is sitting at 1.6 bar, which is ideal pressure. If for at any time you need to add pressure to the system, because if the pressure gets below that red needle, which is 0.5 bar, the pressure switch will then shut the system off to protect it. So if you do need to add pressure to a system, you can, ideally, if there is no water pressure in the system, we charge the expansion tank to around 14 to 15 psi, and that can be easily done by a bike pump and a pressure gauge being put into the air, and then take the pressure of the air pressure up to around 14 psi at zero water pressure on our water pressure gauge. Once you've charged the tank to 14 psi, you can now bring the water pressure up in the system to anywhere between 1.5 to 2 bar. We recommend you don't go over 2 bar because there is other systems to protect as well, part of the system. The way you would fill a system is take the cap off there, and then you can put your garden hose directly onto a garden hose fitting, directly onto that. We recommend you run the garden hose first to get all the air bubbles out of the hose, then it can be screwed, your garden fitting can be screwed onto that. Connect your hose directly onto the bottom of that and turn your garden hose on, and then you can slowly open this valve. You can see at the moment it is across the line of the pipe, so once you turn it in line with the pipe, it's fully open. So when you are wanting to add pressure, you slowly open that valve with the water pressure on your garden hose, and keeping an eye on your pressure gauge, it will slowly come up and stop just before you get to 2 bar, and then you shut the valve off again.
And just one point, it's absolutely important that you do not put air into the system, so run the hose into a bucket or something inside and then plug it quickly on and then turn it on again.
Once you're finished, you can put the cap on. Some of our systems, they don't have a handle. They have these caps have a square slot in it, square slot in the end of the cap, and that is used for slotting into the handle, and then you can turn the cap to open the valve.